Yes, so I broke my losing streak. Today was a great trading day. Friday we lost, today we win. So basically, USD, one trade, one win. Banger, sniper entry. Then Bitcoin orders got filled, bang. So I'm going to show you my trade today on USD. I'm going to show you the DXY, what I think is going to happen, both on USD and DXY. And I'm going to my Bitcoin trade, what's going to happen, what I'm going to do next. Okay, so what I want you to do now is smash this like button and subscribe to this channel, and don't forget, okay, don't forget to follow me on X. That's where I will post all my entries, and I'm going to share my market forecasts for you. Just if you would have just copied every trade I sent on X, you would have profited at least 10% already. Just look it up, okay? It's proven. So let's dive right into it. On the 4 hours time frame, we can see that this was our liquidity sweep, which I have mentioned in the last video before. Please always watch these videos because they follow up. I always mentioned on the previous video what I think is going to happen, my predictions for the markets, and they played out just exactly like I said they would. So please watch those videos, they are important. I stated that this was the inducement. We broke the structure. We took out this liquidity. We didn't manage to get our strong reaction from this fair value gap, from this 1 hour fair value gap. Then this was on Friday where I took the loss, and I had my bias for the day was right. I knew the markets were going to drop. I just failed on the execution part. So I mentioned that we will probably continue our bearishness and try to break this low. So on Monday, today, on London session, I was really bearish. I came with a bearish intent. I watched the markets pretty close, and I saw this gap which formed during the night. So I knew, okay, we are probably going to fill this gap. And that's exactly what we did. So on London Open, I saw that price came back into this order block where we had this reaction and where the gap happened. So first confidence, we filled the gap, which is a good sign. Then I stated on X, let me show you. Here you can see I stated price could react out of this order block and sweep the trend line below. Prepare. I was mentioning this order block. This trend line. I was mentioning this trend line and this order block right here, where we could see our reaction to sweep this. So back to your US dollar. I knew that this could be a point where we see the reversal. I came back to the 3-minute time frame. Now, what I was waiting for was a fake reaction. First of all, we had these equal highs. So everyone who entered on this reaction got lost, got stopped out, okay? Don't enter on a double top. That's the first rule. So they got stopped out. Now I wanted those traders to get stopped out as well. Price, you can see on a 1-minute time frame, we could see this little build up, 1 touch, 2 touches and 3 touches. This little build up with following a double bottom, which is a sign of liquidity. So price went up, induced all of this build up out. This was our major inducement of the day. Okay, we took out the liquidity, came back into this order block where we had our inducement, and on a reaction, stop loss at the top of this order block, target 3 risk to reward. Like always, I could have targeted for more for this whole trend line, but for this whole trend line, it would even be much higher than 6R, but was not necessary. I just wanted to bang 3R, that's it. So I went conservative, and take profit was hit beautifully, like not even in retracement. It just went down in a straight line. That's what we want to see. That's how we know that the trade was good. it was good. Our bias was right, and price came down with intent. So on X, I updated you guys on my trades. Said as soon as I saw the reaction on the order block, I went to the one minute time frame and looked for an inducement, which was the inducement right here, this one. On the mitigation, I entered short position, which you can see right here. I called the trade, and I stated TP smashed. Price could move higher out of this order block again. This one right here. Now, why was this the case? We can see that this order block right here was a pretty strong one. We swept all of these lows, all of this lows, and all of this low. So it was a pretty strong order block where I definitely thought price can come back into this level, then proceed to move low or even take out all of this liquidity. But it didn't, and honestly this looked like a good re-entry. I didn't take it. I was at school, so didn't have the time and didn't see the setup, but when I'm looking at it right now, this could be a good setup to short again. But it's alright, you don't get every entry. So I stated price could come up here. It had this reaction and then broke the structure again. So right now price reacts out of this fair value gap, and let's see if this level holds. I think this is a 1 hour fair value gap. Yeah. So let's see if this level will hold. Another factor of my analysis was the DXY. I always look at the DXY when I trade euro dollar or GBP. We created this gap. This gap, I thought, okay, we are surely going to fill this gap. It's always the same, okay? And once we fill this gap, we could see higher prices on the DXY. So I saw this reaction, and then I saw all of this on euro dollar. So I thought, okay, DXY could look bullish, and the euro dollar can look bearish. So that's exactly what happened, and that's why I executed on the short on the euro dollar, and it went perfectly. So now what I stated on X is also important for tomorrow's price action. Stated we failed to break above the 4 hours fair value gap. The price respected the FVG and created both bullish and bearish liquidity along the way. I wouldn't be surprised if we revisit the 6 hour fair value gap before finally closing above the 4 hour fair value gap. What I mean with liquidity, this trend line like here, it's really beautiful, like in a textbook, 1, 2, 3, 4 touches. And this trend line liquidity, and this is the 6 hour fair value gap. That's the 4 hours fair value gap right here, which I've mentioned in the last video as well, which was important for today's trade. So we can see price did not manage to close above the 4 hours fair value gap, which means we could see another reaction to the downside to take out these lows, come back into the 6 hours fair value gap, and then we could see, or we will probably see, this trend line or here get swept. But it could also be the case that we will see this reaction right away, even today. That we will just sweep this, maybe then come back, then go up again, or we will just pump and no retracement. Both can happen. The only thing we can do is to wait until tomorrow. But that's not the only trade we took today. Me and my brother, we also profited from a Bitcoin trade. Yesterday we swept all of this liquidity. We were looking for a short setup, but ended up not taking it, which makes me pretty upset because this was a good setup. I don't know why we didn't take it. We targeted this liquidity, got swept, so our limit orders got hit, and we are on the upside again. On the 15-minute time frame, we can see this build up. We entered some longs right away here again, and we have some more limit orders on this value gap. So we might expect price come back lower, fill our limit orders, then move higher. that's the update on our Bitcoin trade. Don't forget to follow us. Also come in our Discord channel where we'll update you on the Bitcoin analysis and on altcoins as well. So don't miss out again, I'm telling you. And leave a comment if you want me to analyze some other pairs as well. Bye.